Hello, in this tutorial I will be teaching you guys how to make this candy cuff. It is a 1x high 3D cuff. The reason why I chose these color schemes is because the blue bead is the connecting bead in each section. It's the bead that you go through in order to get to the next level. You could do any color scheme. What really helped me out when I first started making candy is I made something like this and I kept it as a reference. Whenever I started making new candy, I would bring this out and I would follow it, and then I would imagine if I did these colors, a certain color, and then these, a different color. I would just try to come up with different color schemes, but it helped with having a reference cuff to follow. And yeah, let's get into the video. In this video, I will be showing you guys how to build a 3D cuff using this X-based cuff. I posted a candy tutorial on how to make this X-based cuff. I will link that in the description. So I already have my bead set up. We're gonna build 5 going from this bead to this bead and then 5 to here. I used 2 orange, a blue, then 2 orange. The blue will be our connecting bead, our point of the TP. That's why I set them up like this. I wanna make sure that your guys' string is on one of these ends. If it's in the middle of here, go ahead and string it through the bead. You want it going out of a blue. So for me, I will be going in this direction because the string is going this way. If you go this way, it'll make this bead turn and won't look as nice. So I will start making the cuff. I will put my first 5 beads on. And then I will go through the next connecting bead in the direction that I'm going. So my string is going this way. I will go through the blue. I will pull it and it will make a little TP. I'll put 5 more on before I speed up the video. So I put my 5 beads on. My red string is going outside of the blue this way. So I'm gonna go to the next one. And all of your beads that you place should look like that. So I am at my last 5 beads. Your cuff should look like this. I pulled the string enough to keep the points there. And so I will start by putting these last 5 beads on. And then I am going through the same bead that I have been going to. I'll just go through the next blue. For me, could be any color. I tied a big knot, that's why it's not going through all the way. And so now all the points are there. And once we complete a full circle, we have to get to the next level. So my bead is coming out of this blue right here. I want to get to the next point. So I will be going through these 2 orange and then out the blue. By going to the next point, we are able to continue building the cuff. Now, this part of the cuff, you don't have to leave a lot of loose string. So I like to go through the cuff and pull each one to make it a little bit more tight. I am just like pulling the thread through to make it more tight. This will keep the cuff more structured, and it also saves me thread. And that's how much extra thread that was hidden there. Alright. So I had to tie more string on, and if you need to, I will post a clip at the end of this tutorial. So there'll be like chapters, so it'll be like step 1, step 2. At the end of the video, I'll post how to tie on more string. So I got my next bead set up. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 2 beads, and we're gonna go to the other blue. We're gonna go downward. I'll put 2 beads on. Now I'm doing the same color as these 2 beads, but there's many different color schemes, and once you get the hang of it, you'll experiment with different color schemes. So I put 2 beads on, and then the string is going in this direction, so I'm going this way, and I'm going to the next blue, but on the opposite side. So when I pull, it'll make a little pyramid. And so now I'm gonna put 2 beads on and go, it's kind of like crisscross, where we're gonna go here, then we're gonna go here and there and back and forth, a zigzag. So let me put 2 beads on. And then I will be going across the way to the next point. Pull tight. So the pattern is we put 2 beads on, go to the one on the other side, put 2 beads on, go to a point. Put 2 beads on, go to the other side, put 2 beads on, go to the point. Back and forth. I'll show 2 more, and then I will speed up the video. Put my 2 beads on, go the opposite way, and pull. Put 2 more, and I go to the point. So now it will look like this middle one, because this one has all 4 sides. This one has 3, and then this one also has 3, but we're gonna keep going. So it should look like this middle one. You'll get a pyramid looking thing. All right, time to speed up. All right, so I'm at my last 2 parts. I didn't want to start off on the last one because this is a little different. So I keep doing what I was doing. Put 2 more beads on, go to the next connector bead, pull. And so now I'm on my last one, and your cup should look like this. So I'm gonna put my last 2 beads on and go through the next bead, and that completes this step. So like the step before, I like to pull the string all the way around to keep it tight, and it helps with keeping the cuff sturdy and form-fitting. So this is where I ended. My string is coming out here. And so this is the last 2 beads I put on. So this is the first beads I put on in this section. So I pull this string and I go around in a circle of all the beads I just put on. And then I'm just pulling the slack Not as much as the first time. There's not as much slack. So now I'm at the last 2 beads that I put on. And this is all the slack that was in that round. And so I just pull my string and pull it tight. So now the next step in our cuff is to go from this blue point to this blue point. We will be adding some beads and making another TP right here. All right, so I got my next set of beads lined up. This time it's 7 beads, a pattern, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 3. So if you notice, the X base is a little TP, but it's 3 beads. It's one of one color, and then a connector bead, then here. And then if you go to the next level, it goes up by 1 bead on the legs or the sides. So this is 1 bead on each side, this is 2 beads, and then these are 3. Typically, when you go up on levels of your cuff, you want to increase the size of how many beads you are putting on, because the gap gets bigger and bigger. And if I did, not to say, this is just typical. Kandi is creative and you could do anything you want. I could put 2, 1, 2 here. So you don't have to do this pattern. You could subtract 1 on each side, making it 2, 1, 2. And I'm sure that would be a peak. But typically you would add 1 bead. So let me start by putting my beads on. I will put all 7 beads on. And then remember to always go in the direction that your string is going to. So mine is right here, going out of the blue this way, so I will be going to the next blue here. Pull tight. And so that's how it's gonna look. If you could totally do 2, 1, 2, it'll be a smaller peak, and you could even do 4, 1, 4. You could really do anything. So I'm gonna put some more beads on before I speed up the video. Go through the next connector bead. And the reason why I'm struggling to pull the string is because this knot, you just pull tight and it'll go through. All right, speed up time. All right, so I'm at the last set of beads. So your cuff should start looking like this. At the end, I want to pull the string really tight to make sure these peaks are really pointy. So I'm gonna put my last set of beads on my string. And then go through the next same bead that I have been going through. And so my string is coming out of this way. So that means I started here. So I want to pull this string as tight as I can, and then I want to shape it into that point and then pull as tight as I can. This way, these peaks will stay like peaks and not get droopy. So I'm at the last part where this is where my string ended, and if I pull it, it brings back all that slack that I just pulled all the way through. So see the difference in how pointy each end is now that we pulled really tight. So you can continue the cuff. You could go up to the next level, go through these 3 beads, and do another point if you want. You could really do anything with Kandi. All right, so I'm gonna tie off this cuff, and I do that by tying it to another string. So I will put my string underneath this one, and I've made a loop. Let's see if I can see it. So see how this string goes underneath here, and I've created a loop. So I will put my string through the loop and pull tight. Kind of hard to show the knots because you have to move the cuff around to really tighten it. So I do the same thing, put my string underneath, pull it to make a loop, and then put my string through the loop and pull. There is my knot. And so I'm gonna do one more time, just for security. Go underneath, make this loop, go through the loop and pull. And there we go. Now it's time to cut the long string. And there we have our finished cuff. And yeah, that's it for this tutorial. So that is it for this tutorial. I hope I explained everything well, and I would like to see what you guys create. Go ahead and tag me on Instagram. I have the same name as this YouTube channel. It's Kandi Gamer. I've been using Instagram for a while to post my Kandi pieces. I love it. It's a great way to meet other Kandi kids. It's a great way to get motivation and see what other people are making. So if you tag me, I'll like, comment, I'll meet you, and I'll even repost it onto my page because it's cool knowing that I have taught people how to make Kandi. So I will be posting more videos and doing different styles and hopefully teaching more things. Thanks for watching. So I will be showing you how to tie on more string. Say this is the string that's attached to your cuff and you need to attach more. This is another piece of string I cut and I just want to continue it. And so I put these two ends together side by side. I wrap it around my finger and then I tuck these two ends underneath the loop I made with my finger. And then I pull. And then there's our knot. What I like to do is tie these shorter ends together to make another knot, and then I take the longer pieces and do the same thing. I sometimes do this 2 to 3 times just to make the knot more secure and make sure my Kandi doesn't break. So that's how I add on more string onto the cuff, and then you just cut the stragglers off. And I'm pulling really tight. I've never had a piece of Kandi break because of this knot.